Wherever you are and however you are listening, thank you so much for being back with us on another episode of the Virtual GM Podcast. Today is action-packed. We're going to talk about hospitality events. If you're a longtime listener, you know we love BITAC. I'm going to tell you about the most recent sales and marketing BITAC, and then we're going to give you the 4 most important shows you need to visit in the hospitality space in 2025. Be sure to like and subscribe, and most importantly, enjoy the episode.
Welcome back to another episode of Virtual GM Podcast. We are on episode 44, and in standard fashion, we're going to start it off with our segue, which is where we deliver a personal best from our last week and a business best. We're going to have Cody kick it off.
Okay, so I'll start with a personal best. Meg and Cash were gone last weekend, so I got to hang out with my daughter Olivia, who's 11, and we don't often get time one-on-one with the kids, and so it was super fun. And the first day that Meg and Cash were gone, I had to work like all day, like 12 hours because I had been gone. And so she was pretty like distraught and sad. But Friday I got to spend all day with her. And then I took her to the mall with her friend. And you remember going to the mall as a kid.
Oh, we loved going to the mall.
And I was telling Becca and Leah on our call this week, when I was this age, my parents would drop me off at the mall.
That's crazy.
And when I called you and told you we were at the mall, you're like, you can see them, right?
Yeah.
But I gave them some freedom to explore and shop and have fun, and they just absolutely loved it. And there's a new store in our mall that a YouTube family created.
Oh, really?
And yeah, like they had their gold YouTube plaques in there, 3 different ones, which is 1 million subscribers.
Wow.
And so store stuff. And then they owned like the treat thing and the hot dog on the stick. And so they got their hot dog on the stick and they got some great ice cream. And it was just, my daughter was like, thought it was the greatest thing that's ever happened. She was like, I wish I could do it again.
Yeah.
And
She's like, I wish I could erase this day and then do it again.
so that was just so great. It's so special to have that time with her. And then for business, longtime listeners know we love BITAC. It's an absolutely incredible event. And I got to go to the sales and marketing event last week, which is amazing. And also was in San Diego. Usually I'm flying to Florida. And so being on the West Coast was just like a dream. And we were at a great resort, made some awesome new relationships and got to see some old BITAC friends. It's amazing. I was telling someone their first BITAC. So Nick Horrigan, if you've listened from Amazing Sites, he and I feel like are great friends, but we literally only know each other because of BITAC.
That's amazing.
And like, that's it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's such a great place to build relationships. And so we'll talk a little bit more about it in the episode, but just a great week.
That's great. For me, personal, Cash and I did go to Legoland this last weekend. This was our second year of doing a mom and son trip, which was really great, because since he's been born, I really have never had like just alone time just with him, especially for like a multi-day event. And so last year we stayed at Legoland Hotel, and this year we stayed at the Hilton Grand Vacations, which turns out they have a private entrance
How cool
to
is
Legoland,
that?
Which is amazing.
And if you don't know where that is, that's in Carlsbad.
Yeah.
And the Hilton Grand Vacations is awesome.
Oh, it's great. The view was beautiful. It is just beautiful there.
Yeah, so green.
Yeah, especially right now. And so, we did 2 days at Legoland. We crushed it, Don't know how to do theme parks any other way.
Yeah, that one day you guys rode the roller coaster 9 times or whatever.
Yeah,
Project X, is that what it's called?
Yeah, we just took advantage of like the no line. We just kept riding it again and again and again.
That's awesome.
So that was really fun. And then for business, I was able to get reconciliations done before I left, which normally our bank, the statements are out first thing when I wake up, right? So first thing on the 1st, I'm printing out all the statements and then getting it done. This last week, the statements didn't come out until like 3:30 in the afternoon.
Come on, State Bank.
Which is so annoying.
You're better than that.
I know. Which was like a day of the week. So weird.
Yeah, it wasn't even a Monday.
Exactly. But that being said, I still was able to get them all done.
Which was amazing because that's why I had to work so long on Thursday was to finish those up. But I would have never been able to get it done in a day had you not laid all the groundwork.
Oh, I had to get it done on the 1st.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay, well, on today's episode, in the spirit of BITAC, I want to talk a little bit about that, some of the amazing vendors I met, but then we're also going to give you the 4 shows you got to plan to see in 2025. So we'll start with BITAC. I'm hopeful that we're going to get Megan to a BITAC here soon. You think you're ready?
With you?
Why without me?
I don't know.
Because BITAC has one. I think it's operations in 2025. That's on my birthday weekend, so I want to go to that and then have you come.
Yeah, definitely.
But you
wanna
should
come.
go to a BITAC and be a BITACer.
Oh, maybe. I mean, it sounds fun when you tell me about your experience. Like in my head, I'm thinking,
No,
wow,
you would love
that
it.
is like amazing.
You
know?
would absolutely love it.
I love meeting new people and talking to people and hearing stories, but it's also kind of scary.
It can be a little
I've never
intimidating when you don't
done
know.
anything.
Yeah,
Like I've never traveled anywhere as an adult by myself. That just is so weird.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd love it. So the opening night, what BITAC, so I believe it's about 40 people. It's 20 buyers and 20 sellers. And so they're
Oh, that's
connecting.
nice.
Yeah.
So it's not super
no,
intimidating.
it's small, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they're connecting you with
Products that
you need, right?
Yeah.
And this one sells and marketing, so it's one of my favorites. Nick is really who spearheaded this because BITAC had so many great events, but there was not one that was geared towards sales and marketing and revenue. And so this one is my favorite. This is the second year of it. In the first night, so if you're a buyer, you have a white lanyard, and if you're a seller, you have a blue. And so they give you basically like a playing card with your picture and your bio, and then you trade that with someone who's got a different lanyard than you. So that first networking hour, which if you've ever bid, can be so awkward.
Oh,
when
yeah.
you know no one and you just walk into a big room, and there are always relationships that exist. So there are people having great conversations that are friends.
Right.
And that's very hard to
That's intimidating.
Hello. But when you have the card, it's so easy because then you just ask, like, oh, do you have any cards left?
Because everybody has to do
Everybody has to do it. And what they do is they donate $25 to charity for every card you collect.
it. Okay. Do you think there's people who don't actually do it?
I bet there's people who have been there for years who are just like, whatever.
Really?
Yeah. But they should because it goes to charities. I think that's
Right.
the idea. So I've never met anyone who was like, oh, I don't have them or no.
Right.
So that's the first thing that you do, which is great. And then you have a great dinner that night. And then the opportunity is when you're done, you get to be in this beautiful hotel. We were in the Fairmont, and it was incredible. So then everyone goes to the bar after. You get an opportunity to network. I met a gentleman named Zane who is looking to acquire a couple properties. I think it was one in Montana and maybe two in Pittsburgh. Potentially a great fit for Virtual GM and a great fit for Vibrant, which is so cool because we would have never known each other existed otherwise.
Right.
It just would have never happened. And in fact, I was standing at the bar waiting to get a drink with Michael, previously with Curiosity, now with Accent 360. He's the gentleman who owns the B-Side Hotel in Bandon.
Oh,
that I wanted to buy.
Yeah.
And so I was introducing him to
You
somebody.
wanted to buy?
Yeah, but turns out we can't. And I was introducing him to somebody to talk about the B-side. And Zane just walked up. He's like, hey, you look like a cool dude. What's your name?
I love that.
And that's how it started. And then Zane and I spent the rest of the evening just talking about hospitality and our how we came up in it and his family business and our business. And by the time it was over, we're the last ones down there.
That's amazing.
And so really made another friend in Zane. And then the next day you've got a awesome morning breakfast keynote, and then you do basically speed dating. And so I have an app and I get to see it's 15-minute meetings with all the different vendors. So every vendor has a table and you sit down and they get to go over their product with you for 15 minutes. So you do that before lunch and after. And then what's great about BITAC is they really want you to embrace the spirit of hospitality. So they give you free time. We're done at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's so nice.
So like one day.
So it's not like you're going till dinner time and it's just
'cause
conference all day.
How many people do you tell like, oh, I went to this place and like, how is it? And you're like, oh, I don't know.
Actually get experience.
I only
it.
went to my bedroom in the conference center,
Right.
so I don't know. So BITAC really wants you to get out. And it's like, I've played golf at the resorts before. I've gone to the beach at the resorts before. This time we set up a pickleball little match, and that was so fun. Thanks to Logan Otalzi AI for putting that together, and so it's great that you get out and really experience what the resort has to offer. And then on this one, they do a game night every year, and they break you up into teams, which is another way to build this amazing camaraderie. Like they're so smart in how they do it. So you just randomly get a color. And so you don't.
Nobody's picking teams.
No.
Nobody's feeling left out because it is just assigned.
And you can't stack the teams. There's nothing you can do. And so I get my card, and I think there's 8 teams, and there's always 8 captains. And they always give me the captain card. And I get my card from Heather, and I'm like, God damn it. I don't want the captain card because you got to corral everybody and, make sure everyone gets to play. And
you are a born captain.
I know, but I didn't want to.
You just wanted to be a player?
Yeah.
Sorry, it doesn't work that way.
And so I get my card, and Nick is probably the only person that's as competitive as I am.
Really?
And we were on a team together last Sales and Marketing, and we bullied our way to a victory because they tried saying that our game was over. And I was like, no, we got two more throws. And Nick throws a perfect bocce ball, and we end up winning.
Wow.
And so I get on the bus because Nick's like, everyone, cool bus, 445, like be on it. And he's like, raid your mini bar, bring all the stuff.
Stop
He's
it.
like, we're going to have the best bus at BITAC.
I've got to meet this.
Oh,
Nick.
he's amazing.
That
He's
is
so incredible.
funny.
So we get on the bus at 4:45. I'm walking down. I'm like, Nick, what color are you? He says, green. Oh, let's go. Because now we're on a team again. I don't want to go against Nick because the thing is, like, you're playing inconsequential games.
Yeah.
Right? And so it doesn't really matter and most people don't care.
But if anybody knows Cody, if he's playing a game, he's playing to win.
Yes.
Never just to play.
And so if you're the only one who cares about winning, you're kind of like a dick. But if Nick's with me, then it's like, and he's more abrasive than I am. Like,
Really?
like we'll be playing Jenga. You can only use one finger,
Yeah.
and someone will like put their other hand on it. Nick's like, no, violation. Like, he's awesome.
No.
And so it's so great because then we can do it together, and then it's like playful and not rude. And so we're strategizing, like we're making sure that we on cornhole we have the right side of the board, so like naturally right-handed you'll do better.
gosh.
First game cornhole, we blow them out of the water and just an absolute domination. And then we never lose an entire game, but we did tie a couple of times.
Okay.
And so we know we've won because we were so dominant. Next day, same thing, rewards dinner that night. They announced the teams. We don't win.
What?
And so Nick and I...
So it's rigged.
Well, so here's the thing. So Nick comes up to me. He's like, we fucking won that game. I was like, I know we did.
Oh.
And he goes, come on, come with me. So he makes me go over to the BITAC table where they're all sitting
No.
and says, show me the score sheets. And BITAC
Stop
is like,
it.
oh my God, Nick, it's already over. No one cares. He's like, I know it doesn't care, but it matters to us. And I was like, can we just all agree that we won and we don't have to tell anybody? And Nick's like, no, I want to see the score sheets. And so they get out the score sheets. And sure enough, there's like you play like a beer pong with buckets.
Yeah.
And if you throw it directly in, you get 2 points. If you bounce it, you get 1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we threw all of ours in directly.
Uh-huh.
And so we should have got 8 points and they gave us 4 points. And so we did win.
Oh my
And they
gosh.
actually messaged Nick the next day, like, yeah, we're sorry. Actually, you did win. And he was like, that's all I needed. And
that is hilarious. That is
so
that
it's
is
just
funny.
super fun. And then you also do the peanut butter and jelly challenge where we make
And
peanut
you
butter.
donate them, right?
Yep, and it goes to a food bank, and we
That's
make
awesome.
like 1,000 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. But they do it in a fun way that it's a game. And so just the whole experience is
I mean,
so
it
good.
sounds like the ultimate event.
Oh, it's the
And
best.
especially for like somebody like me who's not gone to events or maybe you
It's
don't
the
love
perfect first
the
event for you.
networking or it sounds like the perfect setup. You know
Oh,
what
and
I
the
mean?
thing I
To
left
make
off
it-
is also because even like imagine if you just had freedom to sit wherever.
Oh yeah.
Like the feeling of, oh God, who's going to sit with me? Can I sit at
Or
this table?
you're sitting with the same person every single time. You're never meeting anybody new. Like you're not getting out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, because
right?
naturally that's what you would do. Like I have
100%.
relationships there, and so if I could just sit with the people I know, I probably would.
Right.
But for every meal, you have a number on your placard,
Yeah.
and so every meal it's different.
Yeah. So even if we went together, we wouldn't be sitting together.
No, in fact, the very first night I sit next to Michael, and we're talking, and he had just switched over, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here with my wife." I was like, "Who?" He's like, "Marcy from Hover," and I was like, "You guys are married?"
That
I had
is
no idea, and
hilarious.
so they've gone all these BITACs together.
But they're just networking by
Yeah,
themselves.
not at the same
because-
tables,
That makes
you know?
sense. Because obviously I would choose to sit
Yeah,
with you.
of course.
You would
And-
be my little buddy.
Yeah, exactly, and I can't do that. I can't be a crutch. I gotta let you get out there.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's awesome. And so then, and they also make you ask questions at the tables, like, where are you from? What was your first job? Things like that. So
I like that.
So it creates conversation, and you don't have to
And it's
worry
less
about.
like business. Like, okay, well, tell me about your product. Like you're learning about.
Oh
these
yeah, yeah.
people.
The questions are never about.
Yeah, I love that.
About that. And so they just do such an incredible job. I leave with new relationships every single time. And like this time, we ended up playing a card game after one night because Nick always will set that up and things like that. And so, and I met Lori. No, not Lori. Lavelle, that's her name. Lavelle. And we had a great conversation. She just sent me her book. And so it's like you truly make new friendships every single time.
Yeah.
And that makes every subsequent BITAC that much more fun.
Totally.
Yeah. So it's a great event. So if you're in the independent space or you're in hospitality at all, they have like shows just for independent hoteliers. They have shows for people who are in operations. They have shows for purchasing and design. So if you're about ready to like do a new property and you need to meet the different vendors. They do owners. So there's all kinds of different meetings you can go to. But I highly recommend being a part of it. Rich and Jay, who put it together and created this years ago, have just done such an amazing job. That's so fun.
Yeah, incredible.
We got to get you out one.
I know. Next year.
You really will love it. Like you'll be like, I wish I would have done this every year.
I believe so.
I just don't really want you to go because I don't want them to like you more and then they'll invite you instead of me. It's like when I was there, I told you, I was like, how is this work?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like work, and my hotel room is beautiful and I had these doors that slid open and I had this beautiful view of the golf course. And,
I mean, it sounded like you were just playing the whole time, but.
Oh, it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But anyway, so check out BITAC. It's amazing. They're amazing. But now, we owe you the top 4 shows we think you should see in 2025. And so I'm going to start with one that's actually next week. So this is short notice, but short notice is great because flights might be cheaper, rooms might be cheaper, last minute registrations. And this is the HD Expo in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay.
Oh.
So Breck and I had went to this a couple of years ago when we were converting what was the Majestic View to Hotel de Novo.
Right.
And our design firm was there. And so we got to go meet them in person and have a great lunch with them. And Jordan from the 505, we had just started working with him. Like, I don't even know that we had even actually started the management. We're like in the process. And he is a huge design guy, and so he flew down, and we got to meet him and go to dinner. I think him and I went to Beauty and Essex.
Oh, wow.
And then we went to the Cosmo and got the drink that makes your mouth go numb.
Yeah,
and had a great time talking about Jordans and design, and he showed us his amazing house. And it's a great event, huge floor. The Mandalay Bay is awesome. And if you're in the process of renovating a property or designing a new property, like literally everybody is there. And what was so cool is on the floor, they had these different little like stages. And so you could go catch a Q&A. You could meet different vendors. It was really a very easygoing flow, huge showroom, everything you could ever imagine. I highly recommend it. And I don't think it's very expensive either. I want to say it's only like $350 to go attend, and you get to go to Vegas.
I was going to say, who doesn't want to go to Vegas?
Yeah. So it's like, and
like work and play.
Everywhere has a direct flight to Vegas. So hop on a plane and get down there. I think Jordan might go again. I told him if he goes, we'll come down and meet him.
Okay. Cool. Wait, that's next weekend, Easter weekend? Or no, this is
Megan,
in May.
Please.
Sorry.
We already had Easter.
Yeah, right.
Come on, dude.
I've only had 1 cup of coffee this morning. So.
I guess. Get this gal another
and no
one.
Food.
And no food. Okay, so that is the HD Expo in Las Vegas, the Mandalay Bay, May 6th through May 8th. What do you got for us?
I have the Utah Tourism Conference.
Ooh.
I can't even believe it's 2025, though. Like, honestly, I feel like I just went.
I know. It feels
to
like
this
you
conference.
and Emily were just there.
Seriously. Like, how was that last September? I don't even know, honestly.
And if you're listening, this is our state tourism conference. Whatever state you're in, look it up. Because every state should have one. And you have to be involved and understand what the state strategy is and what they're going after and who's doing what, so you can have your efforts match those. But tell us about your experience last year up in Logan.
Oh, it was in Ogden.
Correct. That's what I said.
Yeah. Close enough.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like only an hour and a half from each other. No, it's great. I mean, what I really loved about the conference is they really want you to explore the area.
Yeah.
And so they give you so much time and they give you all these different activities that you can pick from to go and do. So Emily and I went up, and then for the opening night, they hosted it at Lagoon, which was really cool. It's an amusement park up there.
Yeah, how amazing
I've only
is
been
that?
like twice in my life. And so they rented out the majority of the park, like with the rides that are for adults. And so there weren't that many people that actually showed up, and not that many people actually riding the rides. Like, there were people there, but a lot of them chose not to ride the rides. But Emily and I took full advantage of this. And I mean, we rode one ride probably 15 times.
Wow.
And like, we would just stay on and we would just get off and go around and do it again. And so that was really cool, right? Because it's not something that you get to experience.
No, when you get an
especially when
amusement
it's
park all to
rented out.
yourself.
Yeah.
That never happens.
Hardly any lines. And then the next day, we selected 2 events. So we went and did horseback riding on Antelope Island, which I've never been to. Granted, I'm from Utah.
Yeah.
And then we did chocolate making.
And you love the chocolate making thing.
Oh, we had the best time.
And in fact, it was so good, we bought it for our clients this year as a Christmas gift.
Yeah. Lana's chocolates. amazing.
Shout out Lana. Also, shout out Sean Cannell.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. That was just so random.
No, Mallory, is it random?
Historically, no.
Correct.
Okay.
So that you almost made me spit out my coffee last night. I was taking my magnesium and I put my water in my throat and I was getting ready to drop the pill and I had a cough and I spit water all over the kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, just all over it.
Wow.
And then I just had a great laugh to myself.
That's amazing.
Okay, sorry, go on.
Anyway, so they load you up with lots of fun, and then you have the conference. And
You're really selling the conference. This sounds awesome.
I was tired from all the events, I'll be honest. So, that's like in a dark room.
Yeah, you can get a little sleepy in those things.
No, for sure. I mean, all day conference,
And what's funny
it's a little exhausting.
is it really is exhausting. Like, even though it's fun, you are so tired after. Like
You're
when
nonstop. I mean, it really
when I
is
got back
nonstop.
from BITAC, I mean, I was dead.
I mean,
was
I
so
wouldn't know
tired.
because I left the next day. But yeah, it is
Well, I went
exhausting.
to bed at like 8:00. Remember?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm out.
So, I mean, I haven't been to many conferences, but I imagine most of them are similar,
Yeah.
just a lot of talking, and some things are relevant to you and some are not.
I think that's what also makes BITAC great is like they have a speaker in the morning and they have one at lunch, but the rest are small snippets of conversations that you're in. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's not like you're just
Right.
listening forever.
Well,
You're-
that's what that is,
Yeah,
right?
it's
You're
tough.
you're literally just
and if
listening
the keynotes aren't super engaging, it's
and you're just taking in all this information. It is draining.
and they have breakouts too, right? So you could pick different breakouts to
But
go
even
to.
then, it's like, it's just, I mean, you're listening all day long,
Yeah.
so you're not doing anything to keep yourself
Yeah.
awake and active. But anyways, this year it's September 30th through October 3rd, and it's in Bryce Canyon,
How cool is that?
which is really cool. And if you've never been, it is one of the most beautiful places. I mean, it looks like a picture.
Yeah.
Even when you're there in person looking at it, it's hard to believe that's God
And
created that. It's crazy.
What's really cool is if you haven't been, so you're going to be staying at the Ruby's properties, and the park is literally like 10 minutes away.
Oh, yeah.
Like you are literally at it.
Mhm.
The only difference is I think there's a perception you could see it from your hotel, and that's not true. You do have to drive the 10 minutes up into the park.
Right.
But what's so cool about Bryce is you can take it in at one glance.
Oh, for sure.
Like you can stand at a lookout and just take it in, and it's amazing. And you can do like the one loop. I think it's about a mile or 2 miles, and it takes you
Let me tell you, it takes you to the bottom of the canyon. It's
Yeah.
not for the,
faint of heart.
faint-hearted. Yeah.
But in a 2 mile loop, you can really truly
Oh, yeah.
experience it, and it's amazing. And
It
that
is.
maybe takes you an hour
Yeah.
to do that loop, depending on how slow you go up. The
What a
uphill.
beautiful place to have it. And September 30th through October 3rd, I mean, you're like in fall. The weather should be amazing.
And they do early bird registration, and you also get a discount if you're a member of UTIA, which you should be if you're in the state. So if you're not a member of UTIA, go ahead and grab that membership, and then also make sure that you register for the tourism conference, which is crazy to even talk about because I was the executive director of UTIA.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah,
5 years ago.
that is wild.
And I put on our first hybrid event in the state for the
Right,
Utah Tourism
COVID.
Conference. Yeah.
Wow.
What a wild time.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, this one's super exciting for me. We've talked quite a bit about it so far this year, but the Independent Hospitality Show.
Which is also in September.
It is also in September. This one is September 17th through the 18th. Great news. You can go to both.
Yeah,
And you should. Bryce is cool, but Miami, I mean, come on, what are we doing? This is at the Miami Convention Center. It is completely built for independent hospitality owners or people who are working in the space. Huge venue, bunch of vendors. They've got a bunch of great events set up for the evenings. You will never have a shortage of things to do at the Independent Hospitality Show.
Now, have you been to one of those before? Not yet.
I've not been to this one. I was recently asked to be on their advisory board this year, and so I'm helping get the word out for the event, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. But I had the president of Pineapple Hospitality, the Pineapple Hotels, come on and talk about it, and she was telling me just how amazing it is and how many vendors there are and how big the space is and how great they do creating events in the evenings. And so not only is it great to meet all the people who are there and see all the things that they have to provide, but also there's so much great networking, and what funner place to go out and network than Miami.
Yeah. Sounds amazing.
So registration for that is getting ready to open up soon. So keep your eyes out for that. That is the Independent Hotel Show in Miami, and that is September 17th through the 18th. And then our last show is the Hospitality Show. This is their third year. Huge event. The first year was in Vegas. So myself and the team went to the first ever show. Got to hang out with our fans from Stash. And we got to hang out with some other hotel people that we had a connection with. Remember Charmene from Hotel Zaz? We met her cousin there randomly, like at a networking event, and FaceTimed her.
World.
Such a small world. So the Hospitality Show is another incredible event. This one is put on with conjunction with AHLA, another great group you should be a part of. And so third year, it's in Denver, which I think is really cool. What a great spot for it. It's October 26th to the 28th. That's the only thing I hate about it is it's so close to Halloween it makes, like last year, I think it went to October 30th. And it's like for parents, that's just really hard. But this year's a little bit earlier, so that's good. The 26th to the 28th. Denver's also, of course, a great city. It'll be a little bit cold, I'm sure, at that time. But Colorado's kind of taken over the event space. Like they just took outdoor retail, they just took Sundance.
What?
Yeah.
From Utah?
Yeah, it's going to Boulder.
Why?
I'm sure there's a lot of reasons. I don't know what they are. I'm sure there's some political reasons. There's probably some logistical reasons. But yeah, Sundance is out, Sundance has been in Utah for.
I have the chills.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's bad for Utah.
And they took Outdoor Retailer from us. We got it back. But Colorado and Utah, I feel like, are always in a battle for like the most beautiful states,
Yeah.
The difference is when you're at the airport in Salt Lake, the mountains are literally right there.
Yeah.
And people think that's what Denver is.
Oh,
but it's
DIA?
not.
No.
When you
It's in
land
the
at
middle of
Denver, the
nowhere.
mountains are hundreds of miles away from you.
Yeah.
Like you are not in the mountains. When
No.
you arrive in Salt Lake, you can be on ski slopes in 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable.
We're not the same. Obviously, the best basketball player in the world lives in Denver, so
Part-time. It's not even
Megan,
counting.
let's not get into semantics. So Denver's pretty awesome. Also, the Broncos got some huge free agent acquisitions, so they're looking pretty good. Bo Nix is the truth. So there's a lot of great things happening in Denver. And you could probably catch a game if you played it right.
Could you catch a game?
You could definitely catch a game if you stayed through the weekend. And usually the NBA season starts October 26th, so you could very well catch a Nuggets game.
Wow.
And you could catch a Broncos game.
Okay, that would be an action-packed
That right
time.
there is worth going in itself. And you'll get to see the Nuggets with their new head coach for the first time
So
ever.
I'll count you gone.
I mean, there's a real chance. Maybe you can come with me.
Okay.
Hey, look at that.
love
Look at
it.
us making plans. Okay, so that's it. Let me give you a quick recap in order of how they come up. So the very first one, and this one you got to book right now because it's May 1st. So you've only got this thing's happening 5 days from now. May 6th through the 8th, Mandalay Bay, the HD Expo. It's amazing. You won't regret it. The next up is the Independent Hotel Show, which is in Miami at the Miami Convention Center, September 17th through the 18th. We have our Utah Tourism Conference here in Utah in Bryce Canyon, September 30th through October 3rd. And then you've got the Hospitality Show in Denver. That is October 26th through the 28th. Honestly, I think going to all four would be amazing. Make sure you look up what your state tourism conference is. And I will put the links for all the shows that we talked about in the show notes. So if you're interested, go and register. And if our link is up for the Independent Hospitality Show, I'll put that in there. And I believe we have a promo code for our listeners, so you can go for free to the Independent Hospitality Show.
Wow.
And if the link is up and that code is working, I'll have those in the show notes too. So be sure to check those out. Thank you so much for spending your morning with us. I hope you had a great commute to your office, and we will see you again next week.